Welcome to a new market update in which we'll be discussing Bitcoin, but of course also Ethereum, as Bitcoin is correcting a little and consolidating while Ethereum is breaking out, and also other altcoins are doing massive gains at this point, so it might be actually getting into the effects of Altseason. So Bitcoin and Ethereum will be discussed in this morning update, and next to that we'll also be discussing Atom, as that one is breaking out nicely. But before that, do not forget to like this YouTube update, do not forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel, and check me out on Twitter and Instagram, where you can find content on daily basis as well. So let's get to the charts, in which Bitcoin is not really changing at all. We do know that Bitcoin is still consolidating, still on support. The information that we have regarding the bearish divergence is still the same. It's still applicable at this point. However, we are still facing higher lows, higher highs. So at this point, the bearish divergence could still be invalidated, given the fact that we are seeing those higher highs and higher lows. So at this point, this scenario that I've made a while ago is still standing by at this stage, through which in this period we could be seeing a nice altcoin run, in which altcoins have the best nature to start running. And what we can actually see is that Ethereum already shows strength, and that is usually a signal for the other altcoins to start following suit, especially given the fact that Ether is always the first one to run, and that's just the money flow cycle that goes through the markets. So based on the daily for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, we can see that 51k is still the crucial hurdle. We are still consolidating at this point, through which nothing really has to be updated on this one. If we look at the lower time frames for Bitcoin, then we basically are still following the scenario that we have created yesterday. So we initially stated yesterday on the lower time frames that Bitcoin was acting at support. However, in order to crack resistance, the 48.2 and then this entire block had to be, flipped for support and broken through in order to become bullish even more. However, in the structure that we have, in which we reject all those levels and create lower highs, it didn't seem likely that we were going to do that. So rejection was made, downwards momentum, another test of support following this scenario, through which if we get back towards the resistance again, I think the chances of breaking through and testing 50k to 51k are going to be increased. So right now Bitcoin is at support, and the chances that we're going to crack towards 50.3 are getting significant. Next to that, if Bitcoin is not going to provide 47k as support once again, you still know that I'm looking at the range low, which is around 44.2. But at this stage, I think that if we get another test of 48, we most likely run through towards 51k. But then when we are looking at Ethereum, we can see that we are creating strength. So we are not only breaking upwards, we are breaking the entire resistance and facing newer highs. So we're creating new higher high, we're creating a new higher low, and the bearish divergence was invalidated. So we are still making higher lows and we are making higher highs. So this bearish divergence was invalidated and actually flipped towards a hidden bullish divergence. Also, once we were going to break through this recent low at 3k, the chances that we were falling through us 626 were significant, and then the bearish divergence will be intact, or would become valid. So we are breaking through. Next run is most likely going to bring us towards 3.9k. What are the levels to watch for Ethereum on a lower time frame for support? Also discussed yesterday. You clearly wanted to see a support resistance flip of this previous range high. So that is still the break that you want to see sustain as support. And as you can see, 12 hours ago, we've actually made a nice bounce from that area, and we are continuing the strength at this point. So that is a valid support resistance flip, through which continuation seems likely to be happening. What are the next target zones? Well, most likely if the support resistance flip holds for Ethereum, I think we're just going to run towards the all-time high. We might still be facing 3.9k, but overall this looks like we're going to see continuation towards the all-time high. Ethereum against Bitcoin is also showing strength. We've discussed it. Support area was this green zone. We didn't really break through it. We tested it several times and we started to run to the upside, through which the next resistance zone is found around this area of 0.5 and 0.6, 0.76 Bitcoin. I think that we're going to consolidate a little while there, but as long as we hold the previous resistance, which is 7.1, so a scenario like we're describing here, we would be getting any continuation and most likely are going to get ourselves a new yearly high. What is the next target for Ethereum to be happening? Well, we might be getting towards an impulse wave once again. And then you're facing a scenario that we've witnessed in 2017, in which we get another big impulse move. Or in 2016, where we get another big impulse move to anywhere in this region, causing a potential flip of Ethereum to Bitcoin to be happening, as well we are seeing another 2x to be taking place on Ethereum against Bitcoin. We are getting close once again. So the levels that we are watching on Ethereum, we are looking at 0.76, we are looking at 0.71. These two are the ones that you look at. If we reject here, then 7.1 is probably a good entry zone if we are going to get it. And Ethereum gas fees are running up, through which, and this one is screwed as I can see, through which other layer 1s are doing great. Not only Solana and Avalanche, but also Atom is waking up. And you can see that it's based on not only the USDT pair, but we're also going to discuss the Bitcoin pair in a little bit. So the USDT pair made a beautiful bounce of $17. Right now, of course, you're describing this chart as not an entry point. But once we are going to swap to the Bitcoin pair, then we can see that we're still in a heavy accumulation phase. So as long as Bitcoin is going to consolidate sideways, altcoins are going to make their breakouts and starting to run up. So Atom, Curve, and many Scale, and many of those coins that didn't really have any run yet and have a very long accumulation range, those coins are going to break out quite swiftly given the big compression that they were acting in. So at this stage, Atom is facing this entire resistance zone. If you still want to get an entry on Atom, then we're looking at the range around 44 as a potential support resistance flip here. Overall, continuation seems likely to be happening. A big breakout is also likely to be happening on several altcoins. So I'm quite, enthusiastic for the rest of this year, and I think we're going to see some massive gains across the markets. So that's my update for this morning. Later today I'll be back with some news. Don't forget to subscribe beneath, like the YouTube update, and I'll see you again later today.